Couple of big trailers being dropped today in the world of Marvel. One is for Madam Web, which is a Sony Productions in their Spider-Verse, their live-action Spider-Verse. I saw that trailer earlier today, and I don't really have much to comment on it. I don't know much about Madam Web. I know Madam Web from the original 90s Spider-Man cartoon, and that version of Madam Web is obviously not this one. So there isn't much for me to really say on that. Like, there's not much I can say. I'll check the movie out. But you know what? It's November. It's literally the middle of November right now. And I still have not seen Morbius. I just have not had the desire to see it. Everybody I talk to says it's either just boring and mid and not really worth seeing, or they hate it. There's been very few positive points made on that movie. And I don't know. I mean, I guess I'll check it out eventually. Like I did Miss Marvel. I did enjoy Miss Marvel, but Madam Web is the next one. Venom 3 is also going to be coming out. And let's not forget, of course, the Kraven, the Hunter. That's also going to be coming out too from Sony. Also today, Marvel dropped their What If Season 2 trailer. The series is going to start December 22nd. I'm still waiting for X-Men 97, yo. Like, I'm still sitting here waiting for it with my dick in my hand. But, no, What If Season 2? So, What If Season 1, I had a good time with it. A few of the episodes really had me wondering why I stayed up late to watch them, because that was back when they were airing this stuff at 3 a.m. on the East Coast. I think from now on, based on how Disney Plus treated Ahsoka and Loki, I guess it's going to be during the day now. Or, well, not the day, but 9 p.m., a more reasonable time. December 22nd is when they begin the 9-episode miniseries. And then right around the corner from that is Echo. So Marvel pumping out a lot of content here in the next few months. And then, of course, Deadpool 2 later in the year. And then for 2024, they have the Agatha show. And big mystery about what else is going to get moved around. But I want to talk about the What If trailer real quick. Obviously, with this season of What If, they're going to incorporate characters and storylines, not just from the first 3 MCU phases, which is what we saw in What If Season 1, but also Phase 4 and Phase 5. So in the trailer, you can see the 10 rings, which were, yes, the 10 Rings organization existed all the way back in Iron Man 1, but the 10 Rings as far as an artifact goes that the Mandarin uses, that was much later in the Shang-Chi movie. So that's in here. Now, interestingly enough, the narration on this I thought was from The Watcher, but it's actually from Doctor Strange. And if you remember, Doctor Strange had a really, really important part to play in the first season. It looks like he's going to be coming back for this season, maybe even as a heel variant, villainous variant. Now, at one point, they did show what I think is the Multiversal Avengers, because they had, I mean, it looks like Captain Carter, but she wasn't dressed in the Captain Carter outfit, with Thunderbolt Ross and, you know, T'Challa and a few different characters on the screen. I could not tell for sure if that actually was the Multiversal Avengers or just another variant of Carter, Agent Carter, but I could see them continuing the story of the Multiversal Avengers from Season 1, because everything wrapped up at the end of Season 1 with all the characters we had gotten to know coming together. And I think we might get that again in Season 2. It's a formula that worked, although maybe they don't want to go on that route because it could be too predictable. I really couldn't tell you. There's like a scene of, we see Wanda, you know, the Scarlet Witch showing off her power. There is a scene of what looks to be the heroes racing, like, in the desert. I'm serious, that was in there. If you haven't seen the trailer yet, it's up. You know, Disney Plus series trailer is up already. And that was interesting. Not saying it's bad, but I wasn't expecting it. The Shang-Chi episode, you know, we see more highlights of that. And it does look interesting. It kind of reminds me of like a hybrid of like an anime mixed with Mulan. And I remember when Mulan came out, a lot of folks said it was an anime. Obviously, it's not really an anime. I mean, it is animation, but it's not a Japanese anime. So, there's a lot of footage of what appears to be an episode focused on that. Maybe they'll actually do the Iron Man Mandarin feud here. Why not, right? There's a battle in like a wooded area that really looks like the end of Infinity War, when Thanos came to Earth right outside of, at the border of where Wakanda's at. and it looks like we're seeing Black Panther fight Thanos. He's got the Infinity Gauntlet on with almost all the stones, it looks like, if not all the stones. So they look to be, or that episode looks to be focused on that or something, or a variant of that story. There's a shot of the Guardians of the Galaxy, or at least Gamora and Rocket, and Nebula's in one of these too. But they look different. Like Rocket looks very, very different. I'm not sure if they're gonna play off of the story that we saw in Guardians Volume 3, that whole Rocket backstory, and what would have happened if he had gone down the original path, or if he had gone down a different path before meeting, Peter Quill and everybody else. It looks like that could be one of the what if stories. They also, of course, like I mentioned, have Strange there. He's like the key to all this, it seems. So the last thing that we see is Happy Hogan contacts Darcy and tells her the Avengers Tower's been taken. And they make jokes about like Christmas movies because this is apparently on Christmas. But the whole gimmick here is that it's going to be a 9-day event, not a 9-week event. So there's going to be a new episode every single day, starting December 22nd. And that's a different way of doing things. I kind of like it. I mean, I get it. Some folks might be really busy around the holidays to catch every episode, but they'll be up for streaming, so it doesn't matter that much. But hey, every day is that's different. It's a different approach, and it kind of works for the holidays. Now, I did want to talk about the first shot of the trailer where they show like this kid that has powers, this like young boy. Now, the first thing I thought of when I saw that was Franklin Richards, which is the mutant son of Reed Richards, who's incredibly powerful, Omega level mutant. I don't know if that's really him though, because I was thinking about it, and would they really introduce the Fantastic Four? And yes, I know that the Fantastic Four already had their universe, and I know that Reed Richards from Earth 838, I know that he's in Doctor Strange too. So it's not like they're literally introducing the Fantastic Four here, but Franklin Richards is a extremely powerful character, and one that could be very important for the MCU going forward if they choose to really dive into his insane abilities. I mean, look him up, man. I could go into it right now, but this guy does things that transcend time and space. He's very powerful. And they show him, or they show a kid, and I'm wondering if it's him, but I don't think so. I don't think so, because this would not be, in my opinion, the right way to debut him. However, if their strategy is to use What If as a way to like tool things and kind of tease things, like for example, the evil Doctor Strange was done in What If before they put one in Multiverse of Madness, I could see that being a thing, but it's going to be a real shocker if Franklin Richards or a variant of him appear here. Also, I haven't seen any signs of Kang / He Who Remains in any of these trailers. Obviously, that has nothing to do with what's going on with him now, because this was done a while ago. But I think if you're wondering about what they could do, I think after Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars, if they're still going to come out like that, if they're still going to be done like that, I think after those come out, I think that's when we'll see Kang incorporated more into the What If story. I think they're going to wait to tell that story first, the Kang story they want to tell, and then worry about variants and things like that. But he is a villain you could have all over this show, because there's so many different variants of Kang that they have to deal with, and they can get really creative with it. So, yeah, Madam Web, fine. What If, bit more of an impact on me. I honestly am not, neither one is like earth-shattering to me. It is what it is. I will check it out when it drops on the 22nd. So those are my thoughts. What did you think? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you soon.